right. We're live. Let's see who our first few guests are that pop on. All right, we're getting some people in here. We've got a couple. Thank you guys. We'll just give it a second. Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday evening here. I'm excited to be back. I've got my Lake Worth punk rock flea market shirt on. I'm being a little bit of a punk tonight. I like music, guys. I've always liked music, and I went and saw one of my friends. He was a teacher that played in a punk rock band. Pretty cool dude. But let's give our audience a chance to get their notifications that we're live tonight from warm South Florida. We had like 81 degrees today. That is not what I want to feel in February. I like my winter weather to last as long as it can down here. And I'm not talking about that cold spell we had. That was fun for a day, but I'd like it to get nice and cold. So, all right, we got about 8 people joining us, and let's get into this and let's kill the music, guys. And welcome. I'm Paul Likens, otherwise known as Palm Beaches Paul, your local realtor and guide to South Florida living. And guys, gals, friends, countrymen, welcome back. So I'm having fun doing the live streams again. It feels good to get back out here and talk to y'all and just, kind of shoot the stuff with you, right? Talk about some of the things that are happening in the real estate market, some of the local updates. We're going to put over the comments. Don't forget, guys, you can leave a comment. Got the comment section open. Ask questions. It helps keep the show going. And we do have a special guest today, too. So we're going to bring on her in just a second. But today we're going to talk about a couple topics that we have lined up. We've got a couple things like there's a large portion of like 37% of homeowners say they may never sell their home. And another large portion of those people may not sell for 10 years. That doesn't help to the supply issue that we need for homes, although it's gotten a lot better. There's more homes on the market now than there were before. And then we are going to talk about the silver tsunami. That's right. The gray hairs. I have quite a few of those. They predict in the next couple of years, by 2030, there's going to be a lot of people moving down here that are 65 and older. So we'll see what happens with that. And we got a couple other, and then we'll have some fun. We'll just free float a little bit. As I said, we have a guest. And so let's bring on. So this lady has a YouTube channel. She's a realtor, a rock star up in New Jersey. She is crushing it on YouTube. She's crushing it in real estate. She's super cool. And I was blessed to be a guest on her show. And I said, well, listen, when I get my live stream going, I'm going to bring you back. So let's bring in the one and only, the Miss Jackie Baker. Hey, what's up, rock star?
What's going on? How are you, Paul?
Welcome to hot South Florida.
Hey, I'm a little jealous because it's freezing up here.
Yeah.
We're getting a nice storm here tomorrow, like tonight, like overnight into tomorrow.
Oh man,
good times.
I mean, I don't expect to have like winter. I know I live in Florida, but it'd be nice that if like from January, February, March, and then April, it would stay like no more than 75, maybe keep it at 75, and a couple in the 60s at night would be nice.
Yeah.
But it was 81 today. I was walking the dogs. I was like, ugh.
81.
And I showered and which was dumb. I should have walked the dogs and then showered. But I showered and then walked the dogs. And I got back to the house. I was like, well, that was stupid.
Rough life.
Yeah, no pun intended, right? Cool. Well, what's happening? What's happening in New Jersey these days? I hear you guys are definitely a different market than South Florida.
Oh my God. It's insane. I think I shared with you, I had 2 listings I put on in January. It's one owner that owned these 2 investment properties. I can't, it was just insanity. So one of the investment properties, my partner, she's a big time, like she helps a lot of investors. And she said, let's do an open house on a Thursday evening, because she said weekends, you won't get a lot of investors. So I said, okay, let's do that. Paul, at from 4:30 to 6:30 on a Thursday, we had 60 people. 60 people. And we ended up with 6 offers, all over asking. And we got a cash offer. We're closing I think February 17th. I'm like,
wow.
What?
That's it's just
crazy.
Yeah.
crazy. And, a buyer I was working with, we keep getting outbid. One, just a couple weeks ago, we put an offer on a house out in Rockaway, New Jersey, and there were 30 offers.
That's insane.
Still seeing this nonsense up here. And it's the city, people still moving out here from New York City. It's, is a lot of millennials who rent down in like the Hoboken, Jersey City, those who work in Manhattan, and it's like easier to commute from down there. They could take the ferry and the train, but now they're ready to get into a house. They want to be in the good schools, so they're all coming up to North Jersey trying to buy a home. So
Wow.
it's total insanity. And now, I know you heard Netflix is building a studio.
Yeah.
That project got the approval. That's gonna be down in Monmouth County, down just like the northern part of the Jersey Shore, and now they're predicting that, housing prices up here are just gonna go even higher because of that.
That's crazy.
So,
It's like it was here 3 years ago, but now it's not like that.
yeah. Yeah, so, I
So,
mean, I'd like to see it calm down just a little bit because I feel bad that so many people are getting priced out and,
yeah.
can't
It
afford it.
it's weird.
So,
It's like it's either the extreme that or what we're seeing here where homes are sitting 65, 75 days on the market. I mean,
wow.
there are some properties that are getting quick offers. If you price it right and it's a really nice home and people walk in and see it and stuff, they're getting some offers. But for the most part, there's a lot of marketing going on, a lot of agents, a lot of follow up, a lot of
Mm,
callbacks.
mm,
Was your client interested? Anything we can do to get them back in.
yeah,
A lot of at least I've seen that with some of the properties that we've even really nice ones that we had that we got closed. It took a while during the summer to get that one sold. It was like
yep,
875,000, really nice house, redone with the
wow.
pool, and it was slow for a while. I mean, the showings were like just here and there, but it only takes they say it only takes one person, right? So
That's
it's
absolutely.
it's getting that one person into the house to
But,
do it.
so I would imagine though you have a lot of, you get a lot of new construction you're competing against too.
Yeah, there's a lot of new construction going on. I spoke about that last night when I was on Jen's live stream,
Yep.
our friend Jen, and the new construction's offering a lot of incentives. We're seeing the emails as realtors, hey, come here. We're offering huge payouts for you. Right? I mean, like they
Wow.
want when if you go back 4 years ago, they weren't offering anything. Like, we don't need you. We have enough
Yeah,
people coming. We don't care, realtor, go away. And now it's
yeah,
like, hey, please come to come, look at we're doing lunch and learn. Come see our property and we'll feed you and this
yeah.
incentive and bring your buyers and stuff. So yeah,
Oh,
it's a lot.
God.
But
Wow.
so we'll see. But and it's interesting because let's go to one of the topics I was going to talk about was there is and I think you may have spoke about this, and I know some people have, but there's a huge portion of people who don't want to sell their home, and they have no intention of selling their home. They're
No, they
staying.
don't.
I think it's like 37%. I'll pull up the article here in a second, but there's a lot of people that are just like, hey, my house is almost paid off. My mortgage was like dirt cheap. I'm nowhere near 7. I got my interest at like 3.25. So I was like, I'm
Mhm.
happy as can be.
Yep,
Why do I need to move? The house meets my needs. Um,
yep.
so that's a lot of people.
It is a lot. I'm reading a lot about that people are just gonna age in place.
Yeah.
They're gonna renovate. Even Jen Sylvester said her parents, they're like in their 70s and they're renovating their house because they're just where are they going? They don't want to sell it.
Hmm.
So, well,
Yeah.
yeah, all right. This is part of the problem we have right now. No one's
Yeah.
giving up those low interest rates, and it's just easier to age in place. So,
So let me go hit this, and we'll do this. All right. And we're going to go and where are we at? Let's see, here we go. All right. So we're going to show you this. All right. You can see that, right?
yes, I can see
All
it.
right, guys. So Redfin, many homeowners say they'll never sell, or nearly 40% of homeowners who don't plan to sell anytime soon say it's because their home is almost or completely paid off. It says more than 1/3 of U.S. homeowners say they'll never sell their home, and another 27% said they wouldn't consider selling for at least 10 years. I mean,
Wow.
that's insane. According to real estate broker Redfin, roughly 1/4 of home buyers plan to sell in 5 to 10, while just 8% plan to sell in the 3 to 5 years and 7% within the next 3 years. So Broken down by generation, older homeowners are more likely than their younger counterparts to say they'll never sell. And more than 2 of every 5, 43% baby boomer homeowners say they'll never sell, compared to 34% of Gen X owners and 28% of millennial Gen Z owners, which makes sense. These
Yeah.
people are going to be having babies and job
Yeah.
transfers and moving up the corporate ladder.
Yep.
These people, they've done it, they've seen it, they're traveling. Why everybody hates moving in the first place?
Yeah.
Why, if the house is fine and, hey honey, let's put in a pool. Okay, let's put in a pool. Let's stay here. Or hey, I want to
Yep.
put a garden in. Makes sense. So,
Yeah.
um, and it's just the fact that the lion's share of homeowners say they'll never sell is one reason new listings are below pre-pandemic levels in much of the country. Though listings have started ticking up in recent months, a recent Redfin analyst found that just 25 of every 1,000 U.S. homes changed hands in the first 8 months of 2024, the lowest turnover rate in decades.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, I mean, now that maybe that's, where you're up there, lack of inventory, people are like really want those homes and they want it, and it's still
That's
selling. I
why.
know here right now we're at 5.1 months as of, well, the numbers for January I looked at later. 5.1 months of single family home, 8.8 months for condos. And for the
Oh my
audience watching, what
God.
that means is that if you stop the clock, like right now, it would take 5.1 months to sell every single home that's on the market in Palm Beach, Broward, and Port St. Lucie area for the multiple listing service. That's what our multiple listing service is.
Yep.
It doesn't include Miami. And it would
Yep.
take 8.8 months to sell every single condo on the market right now, which is unheard of, because go back 3 years, I remember looking at that number and it said 1.2, 1.1. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we still have up here in Jersey. Like, 1 month, 2 months
of
it
inventory.
of
Yeah.
inventory. Yeah. I
Yeah.
just and listen, I would love to have 5 months of inventory. I'd love to go back to those days. So, that's a balanced market, Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we got some comments. Hold on. It says
Oh,
Billy
yeah.
says, "Hey Paul, hey Billy, Effie, hi," with someone, and Palm Beach Gardens. But oh, great, nice to have you in Palm Beach Gardens, Billy. But yeah, that's interesting that so many people are just, because in our industry we help them buy the house, they go through the house, they live in it for a while. Maybe it depends where you start. I started real estate in my late 40s, so I wasn't really with the 37-year-olds, right, that were, having babies,
Yep.
moving out of the condo to a house, growing the house. But I've worked with a couple young buyers that bought those homes and then they upgrade. But a lot of what I worked with were people that are like, hey, we're going to move down and retire from New Jersey, right? To
Yep.
move down here and stuff
Yep.
like that. So, but even a lot at some time they would maybe pack up and maybe move somewhere else, or to another 55 and older community. But yeah, I guess not as much anymore. They're just going to ride it out until it comes to a point where they end up moving into assisted living, which
Exactly.
eventually happens. So
Exactly. Yep, but I mean, I think New Jersey still ranks number 1 with the highest outbound migration. I mean, we've always been in the top 3 and that, like, "Yay, go us." We haven't everybody's looking to get out of here, but
yeah,
the other issue we don't have new construction. There's really not enough land here to build anything, so, um but, I still see the reports, that, everybody, once they hit retirement age, people are headed down to you. They're
it's.
headed down to
I mean,
Florida.
let's go back. It's been that way since Henry Flagler built the East Coast Railroad,
Yeah,
built Palm Beach, right? Created the Breakers Hotel, and started wintering in South Florida. And
yeah,
everyone, that's the whole trend that happened all the way through. And it's in Miami through the 50s and continues. People. That's why that corridor between I-95. It's like we refer to South Florida sometimes as what are there, 6 boroughs, 5 boroughs up there in New York? What is it? So South Florida's like
5 boroughs, yep.
the 6th borough. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean,
the
it's like
6th
it's part of
borough,
New
yeah,
York
that's right.
because
Yeah,
there's so many people to come down
yep,
here. There's just that huge connection with so many people up there. So,
I
but
know.
and it's I think it will always be that to some extent, but it's definitely seeing a little bit of a pause,
Yeah,
at least for
yep.
now. Um,
Yeah,
it's
it could all pick back up again,
yeah,
It's what I've learned, Paul, the last 5 years, like you can't predict anything because it's just like it's like the Wild West with this real estate market.
Yeah.
You think, the analysts say, oh, rates are going to come down or prices should come down this year, and it hasn't happened, or they go higher. Look what happened to the interest rates last year. They were like, oh, it's going to, they were going to come down. The Feds were going to do several
Yeah.
cuts over the year, and it never
It
happened. And
didn't
look
happen. We
look
were all
what ended
excited
up.
for nothing. Yeah.
Exactly.
It was a
Exactly.
big letdown. I know. We were all like, all right, the rates are coming down. Get to talking to those buyers. Rates are coming down. Let's go. We're going to go out and find a house. And they're like, yeah, it's 6.5, Paul. That's not a whole lot of a drop. And now it's going 6.7. Well, wait, we're back at 7.1. It's like,
no, I swear, I think sometimes these guys just like they put these statements out there just to stir things up.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is. Well, one of the things, talking about housing and which is going to be interesting is where they're going to buy is this term that's going around, and they even had a big meeting about it in Boca Raton. I didn't go to it, but I heard about it with a lot of the city council people and all that. And they're telling cities in Florida, you need to get prepared for what they call the silver tsunami. And what they're saying is that by 2030, a quarter of the population in South Florida is going to be 65 years and older.
Wow.
So it's already, they're talking about, let me go get the article for you. This one just was really interesting. And where are we at? Where are we at? Here we go. All right. So this article saying that Florida, where is it? As I said, we got here, go to the top. Yeah. So Florida's population is set to change by 2030, right? So they're saying that Florida will remain one of the most populous U.S. states in 2030, with more than a quarter of its residents expect to be aged 65 and older, according to projections from University of Virginia's Weldon Cooper Center for Public Services. Why it matters. Florida's aging population could have a major economic and political implications for the Sunshine State. These include potentially smaller workforce and increased demand for healthcare services. Florida's rising and elderly population could also help the state remain a big GOP stronghold, as older voters have historically tended to support Republican candidates. And it just keeps talking about it. It's like, so Florida is already known for its aging population.
Yep.
We don't call it God's waiting room for nothing, folks. It's
I love it. The first time I heard you say that, I was dying. Like, really?
Well, so are a lot of our residents waiting to. So but it's just sorry, folks, but it's already known for its aging population, and its location attracts retirees, the warmer climate, and that some of the tax incentives, no state income tax, no employment tax, no inheritance tax. So in July, the University of Virginia Weldon Cooper Center for Public Service conducted its latest population projections based on data from the census, and it said that the centers estimate that Florida will be the third most populous state in 2030 with nearly 23.8 million people. Folks,
holy cow.
If you think it's crowded now, hold my 2030 saying hold my beer. Because it's going to get more crowded.
Wow.
And so it comes down, it kind of breaks it down here that says Weldon Center estimates that by 2030, more than a quarter, 25.5% of Florida's retirees will be age 65. And Maine is projected to still lead with 26.5% in 5 years.
Wow.
And then it just kind of breaks it down, talking about some. So let me get back to my screen so I can see you guys, because when I share it, I can't always see you. So it's always been a retiree destination. We've known that. I'm surrounded by 55 and older communities literally around my neighborhood. They're all around the place. And you see the snowbirds, right? We call them snowbirds, a term that people come down here for the winter to get out of the cold. And they're just, they come down here and they like it. And it's warm weather, and they go back to New Jersey and New York in the summer. But man, that's a lot of people coming here. And if a lot of those people that are, my age and stuff aren't selling their homes, that's going to be an interesting thing to see. Are we going to be like you're at, where like people are like bidding crazy to find a retirement home? But more than that, they're they're talking about the infrastructure and the services and all that, because South Florida is not known for having the greatest public transportation. So if you're a point where you're too old to drive, it can be a real burden on someone. There are buses and shuttles, but in certain communities have those where everyone hops on the bus and they all go to shopping together and then be back at the bus at 4 o'clock and then come back and have dinner
Yep.
at 5 and go to bed at 6. So, but
Like how I'm just curious, like, are they preparing for this
well,
for that's the healthcare you got to think about, as you're going to have all these elderly
yeah.
people, like,
So I thought about that right before you came on, and I went and looked, and so it said, I looked and it said, yes, there's a significant plan to build more hospitals throughout Florida, primarily due to the rapidly growing population of
yep.
retirees and individuals age 65 and older in the state, which companies announcing plans for numerous hospitals in recent years, particularly in areas like South Florida, where I'm at, as well as Tampa and Orlando. The trend is fueled by a 2019 Florida law that removed the need for state approval for hospital construction in many cases.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
so between 2020 and 2022, healthcare companies announced plans for at least 65 new hospitals in Florida. And
Wow.
the baby boom is largely driven by the state's high percentage of elderly residents, making healthcare facilities tailored to senior needs a priority. And so, yeah, so just talked about that. And then for 20, yeah, so it's kind of highlights the same stuff that we saw. So let me get back to you guys. But yeah, so they
Wow.
obviously know that hi Johnny. Thanks for popping on. Yeah, they know that there's a need for it because there's so many people that are gonna be moving here. Like, we went to Cleveland Clinic for one of my family members the other day, and which is a great hospital, but it's like, it's about an hour drive from where we live. But we waited 45 minutes, an hour, and then I guess maybe we got called in, and stuff like getting appointments can be hard for some people in South Florida.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm hearing that in a lot of the southern states where people were flocking to, like, South Carolina, North Carolina. Now, for us, like up here, a lot of people are moving to Delaware to retire. When I owned two properties. I sold one last year, and we still have our little beach rental that we have, and we talk about it, like, oh, I think maybe that's where we'll retire, because the property taxes are like next to nothing. They're super cheap. Um, there's no sales tax. It's a great, economically, it's a great place to live. And we still have our four seasons, which I like that. But my biggest scare is the healthcare. They're
yeah,
just starting to build. They built a couple of hospitals down by the Delaware beaches, but they need to do more. And I'm on these Facebook groups, like in the Bethany Beach, Rehoboth Beach, and everyone is complaining. Retirees who have settled there, they're waiting a year for just to see their general practitioner,
that's
and forget
insane.
about getting an appointment with the specialist. It's not there yet. And I got to tell you,
Wow.
that really bothers me. Now, we have a friend who he had to have, I think it was triple bypass, and lives down in Bethany Beach. Went to the local hospital there in Lewis, Delaware, which is about a half hour from Bethany, only to find out, like, oh God, like, you need a bypass surgery. They had to send him off to University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, which is
Wow.
2 hours away. That scared the living crap out of me. I'm like, "Oh my god, what if something happens?" So then I'm like, "Well, should we just stay here in Jersey, because, we got good healthcare here?" Like,
Yeah.
so it's hard, that's why when I hear about this, like, oh, everyone's moving here, and, moving to South Carolina, moving to Florida. What are
Yeah.
you doing to accommodate all of these people,
Well, it's
you know?
interesting because there was an article that just came out that Florida was actually voted one of the best places. Again, it made the top, like one of the best places to retire, right, in the country. It was interesting.
Great.
Number one, and the reason they talked a lot of it was because tax savings and stuff. And there's a question we're going to answer Sharon in a second. She asked an important question
Yep.
relating to one of the things people
I
are
see that.
concerned about. But they said Florida's this place, and I was shocked. I was like, really? And it, again, they look at the tax savings and no income tax, right? And that definitely plays on a lot of people's minds. It factors into it. But the healthcare, like the healthcare, like the best place for healthcare, I voted on there. One of the places on the list that was voted number 2 or something was I think Minnesota, because their healthcare is outstanding.
Oh,
Like
it
apparently,
is. It's the best.
yeah.
Yep.
So and that's, you look, when you get old, healthcare. Listen, guys, when you start getting
Very
older, you think a
important.
lot more about healthcare. I'll tell you, when sometimes when I'm stressed out at my job and I'm like, yeah, do I need to worry about that, or is that just the tacos I had for lunch today? I mean, it's like it's
I
like,
know. But,
or if I
we're
fall
getting
off my bike when I'm doing a video, and it's like, I'm not going to recover like a 16-year-old or a 23-year-old.
No. I
So
know. Yeah, it's Paul's stuff we gotta think about. We're coming to that age,
yeah.
It's
So
yeah.
if you have to wait so long to get in there, and now add to that that a quarter of the population could be at that age where, I'm 59, right? 65, you start having lots of issues, right? I mean, not, well, it depends. Everyone's different. Some people could be perfectly healthy, but you know what I'm saying. So
I know, but looks my whole thing is you just never know. You never
yeah,
know, and I wanna have access to good care, God forbid something happens,
exactly.
because I'd like the idea of settling in Delaware because my kids stay in the New York, New Jersey area. We're not that far from them. They wouldn't have to get on a plane to see us or vice versa. But, there was a lot of people that moved down there from Jersey that come back up to Jersey to see their doctors. They never switch doctors because they
Wow.
can't wait to see one in Delaware. So they'll just go up back to Jersey and stay with family and go to their doctor's appointments. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that either. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Sharon had a question. Sharon says, "Hi there. Appreciate this info. You're welcome. Thanks for coming on. What do you think about the insurance situation? Many people are very worried about rising cost." Yeah, that's obviously, Sharon. That's on the top of every Florida's mind. Every realtor in Florida, there's thinking about it. I mean, even if you have cash buyers, you still want to insure your property. You still want your property
Yeah.
to be safe from theft, fire. When they talk about damage to homes, I spoke to an insurance person about this, Jackie. People are like, not me. It's when a hurricane hits, it's bad, right? Because it's like it does so much damage to so many at one time. But throughout the year, there's more people who have a water leak from a pipe or an AC that leaks. There's more damage
Right.
from things like AC leaking and pipes leaking
Really?
than hurricane damage. And
Really?
that costs and the reason I bring that up is one of the things that they're going to be talking about this year at the state is they were talking about wind only policies, like having a policy where you just pay for wind coverage to protect you from like windstorms. I'm like, well, okay, what happens when your AC leaks, floods the whole first floor,
Yeah.
mold gets in the drywall, and it drips down, and you're not covered? You're gonna just pay out of pocket for that?
Yeah.
I mean, so that, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, Sharon, the insurance is a major concern. It's a conversation I have with every buyer, letting them know that,
Yep.
hey, we need to look at the property. We need to look at a property that's maybe newer than older, if possible. As Jackie brought up earlier, new construction, which is if you can afford it, and not everyone can, but if you can afford new construction, call me and we'll go look, because you've got a brand new built home that has all the latest, greatest safety technology that's out there, all the building codes, and the builders with their companies they partner up with insurance are getting people cheaper homeowners insurance. There's a lady who bought a house in Port St. Lucie, a 1,300 square foot brand new home. She's a realtor. She was in the news, and her policy was only $1,400 a year, where most people are paying $2,600 a year.
Oh my god, sign me up for that.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my
but again,
god,
you have to buy a brand new house. But
that's
keep in mind,
crazy.
for those of y'all may not been on from the beginning of the show here, there are a lot of incentives being handed out right now from these builders. They're trying to get you to
Mhm.
buy, so they'll pay down your buy down rates on your on your mortgage, or
Yep.
incentives, whatever, closing cost or additional upgrades to the house. So there's some
Yeah.
stuff out there, and yeah, the insurance is, and I'm going to switch to the screen because that's a good, we can kind of sort of segue into
Cool.
the Florida budget when they talked about that. So I'm getting more brave at doing the screen sharing, Jackie.
You're doing awesome. I'm proud of you. This is good.
So let's see. All right, guys. So the 25-26 Florida budget is this. I found this today. includes about 178.5 million for the State Housing Incentives Partnership, which is called SHIP. SHIP is a program that's used a lot for workforce housing. You have to kind of look for it. I'm not a mortgage expert, so you're going to want to talk to a mortgage person, but I can put you in touch with one if you guys reach out to me. But it's a program that kind of helps with buying a house. And then they got 100 million for our Hometown Heroes housing program. And that budget also includes 590 million for the My Safe Florida Home. The My Safe Florida Home program, I'll try not to mess this up. It's basically you apply for this, and the way it works is, say you want to get a new roof on your house. Well, you apply to the My Safe Florida Home program, and say the cost of the roof is $20,000, and you put 10,000 in, and they give you 10,000. So it's up to 10,000, something like that. I forgot exactly. I know they'll match up to a certain amount. So maybe
nice.
they'll give you, maybe they give you 10,000. And so I forgot the details, but they sort of help work with you. But it's great because, I mean, look, they're offering you some money to help you, what they call harden your home, right? Make your house more hurricane proof. And so get a new roof, maybe impact windows, stuff like that. So the Hometown Hero, the My Safe program is really good. And then they also put 30 million of that into for condos. They did this for the first time last year. So now if the condo association, because you're not going to ask for it on your own. In a condo, you're part of a unit with a bunch of owners, but the condo association applies for it, and they'll get some money to maybe put a new roof on or do something. So again, I don't have the exact details, folks. I remember reading about it. I don't have it in front of me, but it's a good program. And then the Hometown Heroes helps first-time home buyers, right? So this is with down payments and closing costs. In 2024, the program helped 7,768 homeowners with over 2.4 billion in first mortgage volume. What the Hometown Heroes does is they have a program. Well, they'll give you up to 5%, right, for down payment. They'll give you up to 5% of the property that you're buying, and they do it like at a 30-year 0% interest loan. So you get instead of having to come up with all the money yourself, they give you some of that money to help with your closing cost, right? Because that's the hardest thing, coming up with that down payment. And then you have 30 years, or when you sell the house. So if you move out of the house in 10 years and your house, earned equity and you make a nice profit, but you also take a chunk of that and pay off the money that the state gave you. So that's the My Safe Florida. So this is part of the budget. And the thing about this, folks, where you want to, let me get out of the screen so I feel like I'm just staring at reading a thing. But the thing about this that's important is that they'll go and do all this in like March, April, and then these things will get approved. And I'm sorry if you hear my dog on the side. I've tried texting my son to come let the dog out, and she's always like staring at me.
Oh, that's okay.
It is that they start taking applications for a lot of these things in July, I think, for the Hometown Heroes. But I would go Google it yourself. And if you're thinking of buying, reach out to me. I'll get you in touch with a lender who can help you, who knows the program. But it's a cool program because they're giving you, a good chunk of money that you can use towards your down payment, which saves money for you to do things like, maybe decorate it or paint it or whatever, or do some things that you maybe not have had money to do with. So,
no, that's nice.
So, and again, these are things that will hopefully help. It doesn't help with the insurance, Sharon. The My Safe Florida Home that does help, because if you get a new roof or you get impact windows, and then they come back out and it gets approved, everything's done, and then you go to your insurance, say, hey, we put a new roof on now and we have impact windows or whatever it is, then they'll do a reassessment on that, and you're maybe get discounts depending on what it is. If they look at the house like, okay, you get a nice new roof, well, that's strong, we don't worry about that falling apart as much as that 15-year-old roof. So, but again, you want to talk to your insurance person about it. And then I know with like impact windows or shutters, so like everyone with impact windows, as long as all the windows, you can get certain discounts when all your windows are covered. So in an insurance company, you want to know that house is buttoned up tight for the storm. So that's kind of what that is. And again, you want to talk to your local insurance. I'm not an insurance expert by any means. Just I know that you can save some money. So, but those programs, like if you're thinking about it, if any of you are like, even if you're working with your realtor right now and you're close to getting out there and you bring this up to them, you may not qualify. I don't know your situation, but don't wait, because that money goes so quick. Like I think last year they released the money for Hometown Heroes in July, and I think by August something it was done. Like they were out. They just like, sorry guys, we've depleted all the money.
Yeah,
So
I'm not surprised. I'd be all over that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's good that Florida does that for you guys, with especially with the, helping, pay the cost of the roofs and things like that to help towards the insurance. I mean,
yeah.
that's the least they can do. I mean, it's, you know, it's super expensive. I mean, I'm reading about how expensive the homeowners insurance is down there, and in California too, Texas too. I mean, pretty much everybody in this country saw increases in their homeowners insurance. I mean, even up here in Jersey, ours went up a lot. And people were getting I've been reading on different Facebook groups that people were losing their homeowners insurance. They were getting dropped if the company finds out that their roof was on the older side. And if they
Wow.
didn't repair it, they dropped them.
Yeah.
And it was a true story. This woman she just bought a house. Like a month into it, they canceled her policy after she closed. She found another company that would insure it, and in 2 months after that, same thing, they canceled because they needed a roof. And the roof wasn't I think the roof was maybe 20 years old. It wasn't, like, fully at the end of its life, but that's what they did. And, you know, it's like I said, we had the same thing up here. Look, we get our storms too. Not like what you guys get. I mean, like, the biggest one we had, we all know Superstorm Sandy, and then we had Hurricane Irene, and, we get flooding up here too, quite a
Yeah.
bit.
Oh yeah.
So, even like a really heavy thunderstorm, certain parts, up here in northern New Jersey, there's just floodplains, and,
Sorry.
people get flooded. So, is your dog bothering you
Yeah,
again?
I'm sorry. My son, I finally got him to answer his phone. It's like, dude,
Uh,
answer your phone. I'm doing a live stream. The dog's crying.
you know,
Please take the dog outside.
it's like I say to my kids, "I'm paying for your phone, answer it."
I know.
Come on. How
Let me
hard is it?
see. Yeah. There's I started to see this about that's a different dog. That's that's
Oh,
Sunny. I have two. They're my daughters.
oh, they're
People-
so cute.
I saw this. It's weird. So I saw this happen. I started to see this on the wall before it really became the news that everyone's talking about the insurance. I helped a lady sell her house. Her and her husband sold their house, and they'd moved into this other house, and they bought the other house with a different realtor, but they let me sell their house. And funny enough, they had to do a repair on the roof because they found a leak, and so we got it fixed, and then it sold. But the house they bought, they were living in it for 3 months, and then the insurance company said, "Yeah, you're gonna have to get a new roof." And they just
Ugh.
closed on the house. And think about that, all that money you put down to buy a house. I mean, come on, we're 60,
Oh
80,
my god.
$80,000, and now they have to go out and spend, at the time, probably, maybe a little less than now, but still 35,000 for a roof. And they told me, yeah, if you don't get it, we're going to drop you. I don't even know. I don't understand how they got
Ridiculous.
through that process when they bought it. I guess it had enough life in it to do it. But that is something I tell my buyers. I say, guys, when we're looking at these homes, you may think it's the perfect house, but that roof, listen, if that roof doesn't have 5 years of life, you're not going to get insurance. And do you want to buy it and then get told 9 months later, you got to get a new roof? And again, that could happen. I
Yep.
tell them there's a chance that if it's an old roof like that, if
Yeah.
it's an old, better than that, like 8-10 years, life left in it, you're probably pretty safe. But
Yeah.
so it's the insurance. The insurance is probably the biggest thorn on my side, honestly. As a realtor, the insurance right now is probably the biggest pain. Why people who watch my YouTube channel and talk to me about coming down are like, well, and again, I don't want to scare you all off. If you work with me, I will work so hard to find you the right house that we can get a good quote on insurance and stuff. We just have to be picky. We have to find a house that's in good shape and the roof's better. And don't go looking at that house that looks really cute, but it's got a 15-year-old roof, because unless you want to pay cash, the insurance companies go, nope, we're not going to insure it if there's not 5 years of life in it.
Wow.
So,
That's crazy.
let me see. What does this say? Okay. In NYU,
NYU Langone.
Langone is expanding in West Palm Beach. Likely due to older New Yorkers who don't want to travel back and
Ooh,
forth. Good health care. Okay,
that's really
so
good. That's a yeah, NYU Langone, it's very reputable here in New York City. Um, it's a great, hospital and medical
okay,
facility, so that's
that's
good to know.
well, cool, Katie. Thank you for that, and Jackie, I'm glad you knew because I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, yeah,
So
no, I'm very familiar with that
interesting.
facility. Yep.
All
Yeah.
right, and
But
so
very
they're
cool.
expanding to
That's
West Palm
good.
Beach. Yeah, well, that's good. So, it's funny, if you guys watching may not know, but Jackie and I obviously have YouTube channels. You know that I do videos and live stream is just now my way to connect with you guys a little bit more. So we have conversations like this, and
Yep.
Jackie and I kind of work and help each other and stuff.
Yep.
So it's a good way to know fellow realtors. So if any of you guys have family in New Jersey, you want to reach out to Jackie at her channel and all that, and because Jackie can help you
Yes,
sell
thank
and help
you.
them buy. And I know a lot of you down here probably have relatives up there, but
Yes.
but it's stuff like this. So thanks, Katie. Stuff like that. So Jackie, I'm probably going to do a video. I haven't done this, and I really don't know why I haven't done it, but I should, about the hospitals and healthcare systems in Florida as a realtor,
You
pointing that out
should.
to all these people that are close to my age. Hey, if you're moving down here, let's talk about what hospital options you have.
You really should.
And I don't want
Yep.
to point fingers like which one's good or bad. I guess I could just take statistics without, I don't want to say anything derogatory about a hospital, but I guess I could just look based on a rating. I'm sure there's a rating system just like anything else. And
Yeah.
just like, hey, this one was rated this and this one was rated that. But
Yep.
but yeah, I think that would be so that's interesting. That gave me a good idea. So Katie, thanks
The
for that because I can
there Yeah, definitely do one about that. I would research that, Paul,
yeah,
about that NYU Langone. That would
yeah.
about them opening up down there. Oh, you should totally do that.
I'm gonna see if I can. I think
Write that down.
does it save it? I'm gonna make it take just a screenshot that real quick,
Yeah.
and we'll just save that for later.
Yeah.
So,
See? I love it. You're getting content ideas on your live
yeah,
stream.
that's
It's
always
awesome.
I know I got to shoot a video tomorrow. I got to do a video about I've stepped back from my condo crisis videos only because it was just kind of getting really crazy and negative, and a lot of people liked it, but it was also just a little bad. I felt like those YouTubers that was just delivering negative news all the time, and it's not in me to do that. I love when people saw my video I did of Deerfield Beach, and they're like, "Thanks for showing that. We love the history. Um, we love the history. We like seeing and learning about South Florida because we don't know all these places, and we live in West Palm, and we've never ventured. Now we want to go check out the brewery, and I'm going to go fishing with my cousin on the pier when it's
Yeah.
done. So it's cool that I can share my passion with,
Yeah.
with
That's
people
awesome.
to show
That's
that stuff.
awesome.
Yeah. So
That'll bring more people to move down there,
yeah,
you
yeah. I
know?
mean, listen, I mean, I've been here 30 something years. Florida is a great place. It has a lot. It's like any place. It's going to have good and bad.
Yep.
We're going some headaches right now. And, it's just, it is what it is. But overall, there's still obviously people are moving here because we got this tsunami of people that are like, well, I'm 65 and I still want to move to Florida. I still want to have my cocktail and go to the beach and see my sunset and my sunrise. You can see a sunset out in the Everglades, but or you move to the West Coast and see sunsets.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, it's still that connection between us and Jersey and New York is not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. No,
So I think we'll
definitely.
have a lot of people here. Let's see, what did she say?
Oh, hello, Patty.
You
Patty's
know,
on my stream every week.
nice. Okay. So Patty and Jack, we need more local healthcare. We're overwhelmed with patients in existing facilities, especially during season. Yeah, I can't imagine. I,
Yeah.
it really has to be hard to be in the healthcare industry. God bless the people that
Oh,
do that
yeah.
and take care of people and just and
I could never. I mean, I have two
and
sister-in-laws that were nurses. They're now out of it. They're retired, but I don't know how the hell they did it.
yeah,
It's and they worked in like, big hospitals in the
yeah,
city. Like my one sister-in-law worked at Columbia Presbyterian, the other one worked in Westchester Medical, and oh my God, I don't know how they did it.
yeah,
But in that like what she's saying, down in Florida, and you having more people, you're overwhelmed. The hospitals, they get to at capacity, and then you can't. They have to shut down. So here's an example: my husband volunteers with our local EMS. He drives the ambulance, and during like flu season, and yeah, but really flu season, everybody's flocking to the emergency room, and then he'll be on call, and he'll find out, oh, there's a divert, like the hospital they usually send will bring patients to. They got to go divert to another one because they're at capacity. They'll shut it down because they just can't take anybody else.
That's crazy.
But I mean, so if we're having that here in Jersey, up in my little section of North Jersey up here, I can't imagine Florida during the winter season, like
There was
having, yeah, that's crazy.
I'm not going to switch the screen because I do it, but there was a news. Where was that? I saw it. You were talking about health, and it was this. This is weird. This has nothing to do about real estate, but it could affect real estate.
Okay.
Let me pull it up. So I get this news flash from iHeart, just another news source, right? Because I'm always trying to find articles and stuff.
Yeah.
A new virus discovered in U.S. raises pandemic fears.
Oh, geez.
Now, they already know there's already talking about the bird flu. And I saw a report from the Florida Realtors magazine way back. I almost said you should make a video about it, but I said, no, it's too negative. I remember reading about bird flu, like they're talking about some cases of it. And then all of a sudden now here we are 9 months later. But this one, a new virus discovered in the United States is raising fears of another potential pandemic, the Daily Mail reports. And I don't know how good the Daily Mail is. I don't read it, but it's called the Camp Hill virus, and it was identified by scientists in shrews in Alabama. I guess shrews are like sheep, right?
Shrews are birds, I thought.
Oh, shrews are birds? Okay, I don't know.
I thought. I don't know.
Maybe it's a bird. Okay, I don't know. I've never heard. It's not a word.
But that makes sense if it's a virus to get from a bird. I mean, we got the avian flu right now, and then you have that.
Could expand beyond animal reservoirs, infect humans, leading to a massive outbreak. The new virus belongs to a family of pathogens called Henipaviruses, which includes the bat-borne Nipah virus that has a 70% death rate. I'm like, not trying to bring y'all down, but wash your hands.
All right, I'm out. Have a good night.
Wash your hands, folks. I'm like, come on. What's it? 25? We are at 2020. We were good with 2020. We like,
yeah, but I'm not doing
we're
that
okay.
again.
We're not talking bad about 2020 was that. We don't want to think about you. You showed you were the boss. Okay,
we got it.
We understand. Okay, we don't need another.
We don't need that. We don't need to go through that again.
Thank you, Patty.
Yeah.
So, but
oh my God.
Well, most of the news stories. You got anything cool hopping on you want to share with us?
So as I was telling you before we came on here, so our governor up here they got a bill passed. It went into effect in January where they're trying to incentivize seniors to stay in New Jersey and not move down to your state. So they're offering, it's a program. Hold on one second. I'm going to pull it up. It's called the Stay New Jersey program. And
hey, I can see that. I can see Bruce Springsteen now. Stay in New Jersey.
Either him or Bon Jovi are going to jump on that bandwagon. Just give it time. So,
oh, that's right, Bon Jovi. Yeah, maybe Bon Jovi.
Yeah, hey, we got a
where's Springsteen from?
Freehold.
Huh? He's from New Jersey, right?
Yeah, New Jersey. Freehold, New Jersey.
All right.
James Gandolfini was from Jersey. From the
Forget about it.
Yeah, Tony Soprano was from Park Ridge, New Jersey, right here in Bergen County. John Bon Jovi, Whitney Houston. So I joke about this. So if you go down the New Jersey Turnpike, all of the rest areas, they're named after one of the famous people. So or the Garden State Parkway. So the Garden State Parkway, we had the James Gandolfini rest area, Whitney Houston rest area. It's pretty funny.
Bruce lives in Wellington. Does he?
Yeah, he lives in Wellington now, but he's originally from Freehold.
Interesting. So Bruce is down here. We got Stallone down here.
Do you?
Oh yeah. Oh, he moved. The whole family moved from. I watched that silly show. I like Stallone, so I watched his whole little life, sort of like a Kardashian show about him and his family and his kids.
Yeah,
but I like Stallone. I just think he's a funny guy, and he's cool how he brought himself up. But he moved from California, and they live over in Palm Beach. But it's funny because he's trying to put a privacy barricade in the water. Really? So boats can't come up to his house, and people are like, you can't do that in the water. We don't care how rich you are. Like you can, your house is your house. You can't block the water. You don't own the water. And I'm like, it's Palm Beach. Just watch and see.
Just watch.
And grease enough hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's all it takes.
Wellington's nice, man. There's some money out there. Bill Gates' daughter rides out there.
Yeah,
For
you had told me about that, about
yeah, yeah.
Wellington. Yeah.
If you for y'all that might know, Wellington is out in western part of Palm Beach County, and it's called horse country. So they got the right now we got the polo going on at the National Polo Center. They'll be out there probably through
Wow.
April, and then they have the equestrian champion shows going out there where all the horse jumpers are out there, and it's huge. And man, there's like I
Nice.
mean, there's so much money out there. It's ridiculous. The homes
That's
and
great.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Um,
that's but
so
so they're gonna keep them. I'm sorry, I threw you off track there. I interrupted. So they're gonna do this to keep the people
so
in
they're
New Jersey.
so what they're doing is so the program is goes for it's homeowners age 65 and older, and it reimburses applicants for 50% of their property tax bills up to a maximum of $13,000. And it says here with the 2024 benefit cap of 6,500. And to qualify, you must have owned and lived in your home for the full 12 months of 2024 and have an income below $500,000. So so you have to apply for it. It says here applicants will submit a single application to claim benefits. They also have another program called Senior Freeze and the Anchor program and the new Stay New Jersey program. So this is all basically to bring property tax relief to the seniors, which okay, that's great. So what are you saying? Do we have to apply for this every year to get that break? I
Yeah,
mean, that's kind of annoying. It's like,
yeah.
why don't we just find a way to reduce the taxes altogether? I mean, we do. We have the highest taxes in this whole country.
What is
It's
what is the
ridiculous.
what is the tax? I told you before the show. Because someone brought this up, and I go, "What? What is the tax that they nail you with when? Hey, Jackie, yeah, Paul, let's go retire to sunny Florida and start surfing at 60. Let's go, Jackie." And then the state of New Jersey goes, "Hey, we got a parting gift for you."
Yep. So it's an exit tax. Well, they call it an exit tax. So basically, they tax you on the profit of your sale. Okay, so if you have a gain, I have it right here in front of me. If you have a gain on the sale of your house, it is. I'm trying to find a percentage. Here it is. So the exit tax requires you. They withhold it. Okay, so they're going to withhold either 8.97% of the gain that
Wow.
you make or 2% of the total sale price, whichever is higher. So basically what it is, they're going to hold that. They're going to withhold it, and then the following year when you go to file your taxes, you have to file it's an New Jersey out of state tax form. I don't know what the form is called, but you have to file that back to New Jersey. And then so say there's a chance you can get, what does it say here? If the net proceeds. So basically it's just a prepayment of your tax on the
Wow.
sale. That's what it is. But yeah, you have to pay it. And there's no I don't think you're exempt from it either. Yeah, so it's yeah, that's
So hey, thanks for spending your life here and raising your kids in New
and
Jersey, and then yeah, you're leaving, and here's a parting gift. Get the
and here's
hell out of
and
here.
here, by the way, you can pay us on the way out. And yeah, like here, thanks. We'll
Is it,
take
is it,
we'll take that. But
and in the joke, did you have a turnpike at every exit in New Jersey? So
there's
like what exit?
what
So
exit? Yeah,
yeah,
what exit
yeah.
you like? I
So
know when
here's
you say
here's your
whenever
last toll. Here's your last toll out of New
Did
Jersey.
you last exactly, and the
Have
tolls
fun.
got expensive too. It's like, yeah, our
Yeah.
property taxes I pay so my town where I live, we, in Bergen County, we have, like, one of the lower taxes of all of Bergen County just because we have so many ratables. We have a lot of corporations here, a lot of industry, which brings their property taxes down, which is very nice, but what some of the higher end towns, I'm not kidding you. People are paying upwards 50,000 or more into a year in property taxes. Like
Wow.
it's ridiculous,
See, when I hear that, I mean, well, I don't know. When I hear that, it's like it's hard when people say, "Well, moving to Florida, it equals the same as up there because the insurance and all here." But I'm like, I mean, I guess it depends on how big the house is, and but I
Yeah,
mean,
but
and taxes aren't exactly cheap in Palm Beach County. So I mean, they're not up there, but
yeah,
it's,
I mean,
it's
I pay we're up to about 15,000 a year, which is reasonable, believe it or not. I mean, because some
wow,
people in other towns, like I have a good friend, she's paying, I think, close to 25,000 a year in taxes, and her house is probably about the same size as mine, same
wow,
size
yeah,
property, but it's just a town that she's in, because
yeah,
every town in Bergen County has their own pretty much almost every town has their own school system, own police force. That's why it's so expensive. Nothing's regionalized,
Yeah.
and that's what you're paying for. But it's the education that people feel it's worth it to pay these taxes because the school systems here in northern Jersey are like it's one of the best. So
Right.
that's why the people, they don't care. They'll pay it.
Right.
So
Yeah. There's places like Boca which are like that too. Boca's the schools are known to be good
yep,
schools or better schools or whatever rated that the
yep.
people like down there in different places, and then Jupiter and stuff like that and stuff. So Sharon says we were dropped from being too close to the beach. Yeah. Which is insane as we're
What?
over 5 miles away, not near it. Oh man.
Oh my God,
Yeah, 5
really?
miles is not near like Jack. I'm not kidding. When people move here, I tell them, it's funny because South Florida is one continuous city, right? You got Jupiter, then you go down, you got North Palm Beach,
Yeah,
Rivera Beach, West Palm. It's just 95. It's like you really don't realize you're going through all these different cities.
yeah,
So, and I tell people, other than way out west, like Wellington, most of the places where I help my customers look and shop for home, I tell them you're at the most maybe 20 minutes from the beach, like that. It's not too far
yeah.
away and stuff.
No,
So 20 minutes,
that's great.
but it's 20-minute drive. But wow, 5 miles
But
is not. Yeah,
5 miles and you got dropped. Oh my God. No way.
yeah, that's out there. I mean, I don't know how far are we out. Gosh, and that's 5 miles. I'm trying to think. That's probably close. I live all the way out west by the turnpike, so that's nuts.
That
I mean,
that
usually
is
it's
nuts.
usually east of 95 is where everyone's like, no one wants to live east of 95 unless they can afford it because one, it's expensive, and now because of the insurance, it's like because that's where a lot of the first neighborhoods were.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
um,
that sucks though.
Jackie, where
Uh,
in New Jersey you serve from New Jersey?
I'm in Bergen County. I primarily do business in Bergen County. I also will go out to Passaic and Morris County, in northern Jersey. So yeah, that's where I am.
Let your relatives know. Jackie, help
Yes,
them
let
out.
your family know.
If they want to pay that exit tax and come down here, tell them Paul will be happy to help them.
Yeah,
We'll
see?
help.
So,
We'll help them. We'll get them some key lime shooters, and they'll forget about that tax. Welcome to Florida. Have a key lime shooter.
yeah, I don't know if that'll be enough, Paul. Sorry. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt big
I
time.
know.
Yeah.
I know. Well,
Yep.
Jackie, I love having you on and being a guest with you.
Um,
Either way, I know it's the first time you've been on mine, but
oh, thank you
I,
so
I,
much.
I have a lot of
I'm
fun
so
with you, and
honored.
yeah,
Oh,
you're sweet. So, tell people how they can reach out to you, how they can find your YouTube channel, all
so
that.
yeah, you can just look up Jackie Baker Realtor on YouTube. And my channel's out there. And yeah, go check it out. A lot of content on there. And then if you're interested in you want to buy a house in Jersey or selling, there's a link on my YouTube page. You can click on that and put out your information, and I'll get in touch with you.
She had
We
some
can work
amazing
together.
videos, y'all. One of her videos was actually picked up by what's his name again, Stefan or
Graham Stephan.
Graham Stefan, which
I
Graham Stefan, folks, he's like this young kid that started selling in Hollywood, and he started young, and then he got into like $1 million homes, and then he kept going, and then like most young people, right? He's like, hey, let's do YouTube, and he started doing YouTube, and he started making videos about real estate and investing. What does he have? 3
He's
million?
got but no, he's got 2 channels. The one channel, he's got almost 5 million subscribers, and the other channel, he's got like 1.25 million.
Yeah. So, and he's got a podcast, and he's like, I mean, he's
He
huge.
the
He's
kid's
like,
brilliant. He's
yeah,
a brilliant kid.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's a great dude and stuff. So,
yeah,
but Jackie's catching up with him.
yeah.
She's but
I
anyway,
don't know about that.
he saw her video and he spoke about it, which is really cool, y'all. When you make these videos, if someone that big on YouTube
Yeah.
calls out and he asked her and said, hey, I like your video and I'm going to feature it in one of the videos. So
Yeah, it
that's
was
a huge win.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he's a
cool.
nice guy. I emailed him to thank him for that, and he actually wrote back, and he's like, "Hey, if you're ever in Vegas, like, look me
Oh,
up."
that's right.
I'm
He
like,
moved to Vegas. Yeah.
"Yeah,
He was
he's a
part of that
Vegas
mass
guy."
California exodus for a while there.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So, but well, thank you. This was fun. I love doing
yeah,
this stuff.
yeah.
This
And
is
then, Patty agrees. Jackie has awesome
Oh,
content.
thanks,
Yeah.
Patty. Appreciate it.
So, all right, hon. Well, hey, stay warm.
I'll try. Stay cool.
Yeah, that's like good thing we have good AC down here in South Florida.
Thank
So
God for
we're
that.
not gonna knock on wood, right? Don't say that, Paul. It's like wake up, Jackie. The AC went out last night. Luckily, my next door neighbor is an AC guy, and I sold him
Nice.
the house, so he's like super cool to me. So I was like, "Hey, if I ever move from here," I sold him. I was like, "If I move, he's great." And his wife grooms our dog, so it's even better.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
nice.
she's awesome. So, but anyway, well, hey,
Cool.
thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. I'll see you soon. I'll let you exit, and I'll say goodbye to everyone here in just a second.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks a
Take
lot.
care.
Bye. All right, guys. It's another week here. So I hope you guys like this. Thank you so much for all the comments. I appreciate those people that ask the comments and engage with us. We'll get better at this. I'll get better at this. I'm going to always just kind of do this. Like, this is what I want to do. I'm still going to do videos every Sunday at 10 a.m. So please watch, like, subscribe, and all that. Keep supporting. If you need to reach out to me for any real estate needs, I have links on my YouTube channel that you can reach out and fill out a form. Whether you want a buyer's guide, if you want a seller's guide, I'll email you what we have. And if you want to know, the value of what we think your house might be worth, again, not an appraisal, just a realtor's opinion, taking a look at what's sold in the neighborhood, reach out. I'd be happy to talk to you. I love helping. I work Palm Beach County. I'm actually doing some business up in Port St. Lucie as well, so I'm not afraid to venture up there. And yeah, I'm going to keep doing these videos because it allows me to get comments from y'all and kind of engage with you and get you updated on stories that I might not necessarily want to make a video about, but I still think they're important to share with you, the audience, and what's going on and some of the stuff. So all right, hey, with that, wherever you are, get out, enjoy paradise, enjoy your weekend when it gets here. It's almost here, and I'll see you Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Talk to you guys later.